Welcome to the IPL Podcast, Episode 4, a discussion of spirituality and fitness with IPL Pro and Scene Magazine cover girl Kelley Duncan-Halford.
Welcome to episode number 4 of the IPL Podcast. Today we're talking about spirituality and how it affects health, fitness, and physique competition. I have the lovely Kelley Duncan-Halford joining me today. Hello, Kelley. How are you?
Hey, Ben. Thanks for having me.
What do we need to do here? How should we start?
Get your Zen in.
Is there a specific something we can do to?
Yeah, start with the Om, Ben. Say Om.
Eyes closed. Eyes closed.
Nice deep breath. Eyes closed. Nice deep breath. And say Om. Do one more. Nice deep breath. Close your eyes.
Om.
Yeah.
I like it. That's good.
Easy reset,
How are you?
my friend.
Kelley Duncan-Halford. Welcome to the podcast.
I'm good.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you for
here.
agreeing to come on. I'm excited to have you. Kelley is a mother of 3. She's a medical Reiki Master. She's a sound meditation practitioner, and she's a leader in the field of health and wellness. She's also an IPL Bikini Masters Pro, Fitness Angels Open and Masters Pro, Evening Gown Masters Pro. She's a 2-time Scene Magazine cover girl. Once again, welcome to the show, Kelley. There's so much. So
Yes.
You've got so many
Glad to
amazing
be
things
here. What
going
an
on.
honor.
I mean, we could talk about so many things, and we have talked about a lot of things. I'm sure a lot of people have seen read some of your magazine interviews and content. We've got into a lot of the details of your life and some of the fun and exciting things that you do. Today, I really wanted to focus on spirituality. Let's do something different, right? Yes, abs and biceps and bikinis are great, and we'll probably talk a little bit about that, but I wanted to go a little deeper today and talk spirituality. So before we get into it, though, congratulations on Virginia. The last time I saw you, we were in Virginia. You competed at the Virginia Championship. You won pro cards and everything that you did. Bikini Masters, Fitness Angels Masters, and Evening Gown Masters. You also turned 40
What a
on the
sweet.
day of that contest, which made you eligible to compete in Masters. So we won't go too deep into the competition stuff, but just talk about what that was like, that day, that weekend for you.
It was a threshold for sure, a checkpoint. I think many can tell you that 40 is, it can be scary, but for me, I focused on it being exciting because I'm happy to be alive. Some people don't make it to 40. I want to live to my fullest potential. I want to show my kids what they're possible of. So when I heard this competition was on my birthday, my first decision was, I'll pass on that one. We're going to be planning a party. I want to celebrate. And then I just stopped in my tracks and I realized, wait a second, what better way to celebrate yourself than to be on stage and to work to that peak of celebration, right? And we still had a birthday party the day after to celebrate with our friends and family and everything. But my mantra for that show was first in 3. I competed in 3 divisions, and I wanted first in all of them. And what better way to do it than on your birthday, celebrating your life. So there was some really deep focus for me in this show. I have done 2 other shows in Sacramento and Maryland, placed lower in those, so I really had a lot of dedication for taking the crown this time. And I'm really grateful the way that it turned out because I worked hard. I really poured myself into the presentation. New bikinis, created a portion of my wings on my own, so some creativity into it. But I'm really proud. I'm proud of the outcome. I'm grateful to be a part of the league.
Awesome. We're honored to have you. I'm proud of you. You were amazing. Definitely career best on stage there. Shortly after that contest, you landed on your second cover of Scene Magazine. You've got a lot of people following you. Like, we post some stuff about you and everyone's chiming in. I'm sure that just goes to sort of just show the impact that you have, your personality, your energy in the universe. People are gravitating towards it. Talk about that cover and the feedback that you've been getting from sort of the industry, your community. What's that been like?
Yeah, being on the cover of a magazine is unreal. I mean, you see it and you're like, wow, you see something like that checking out in the store and you're flipping through it, and then suddenly you're the person on the cover of that magazine with articles, motivational things surrounding you, and people working on themselves all in those articles as well. It's uplifting. It's surreal. It fills me with joy and motivation to go further and do more and stay a part of it and keep growing, keep doing better. The support that I get locally, honestly, I've been in Hartford County a long time. I have a health center. We have 4 Airbnbs. What we do in the community, we try to stay connected and we try to help others around us, not only by growing other small businesses inside of our health center, but also making sure that people get away and out into nature so that they can be well and grounded in the Airbnbs. Me being on the cover, I think, and the response to it is my friends and my family and my community celebrating me because I think in a humble way, they feel as though I deserve it, and I'm honored. It makes my voice a little weak because it's emotional to have so many people believe in you and support your value. And what that does for me is it only motivates me to inspire more and to uphold myself to a higher standard so that I can continue to motivate others to be the best version of themselves, right? Because it's not about me and my ego being on the cover. It's about me being on the cover so other people can see how far I've come, and you do a lovely job of that, telling our stories so people know our beginning and our journey and how we made it to the stage. It's not just voila, stage, perfect photos. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hustle behind the scenes. And I appreciate you sharing that for us, making it to that cover.
Definitely. It's been fun. It's what we're all about. It's what I'm all about. And someone like yourself, I mean, you're just the ideal candidate for the shine and the celebration. So I appreciate you. So since you first came on the IPL scene, I mean, I remember first meeting you and having you on our stage and just getting a vibe of your personality. You just have a really great, positive energy. Like you're a very positive. You're one of those people that just have that vibe. Where does this vibe come from? Obviously you realize and you know that you have it, but do you know or realize the impact that you're having on people and how you're received and how this energy is received? And also, again, where does it come from?
Yeah, I do. I think as a leader, it in part is my responsibility to show people how to lead with kindness and unconditional love. We don't have to know each other to be kind to one another, and we can compete in a healthy environment so that we both win, no matter the title, because we've all achieved a lot, right? So when you're backstage, I value that every person that is back there, no matter the way it turns out, has done a lot of work. And every single one of us travels through difficulties that we don't talk about. So with a little bit of kindness, that kind of opens up that vulnerability for people to be less brash backstage and more inclusive and supportive. And I do that intentionally to shift the energy of people feeling like they're nervous and they're alone or
right. So this is a conscious thing. It's a conscious thing that you're doing.
Yeah, comparison steals joy. Right. And in my perspective, if someone's looking at you across the stage or across the back room and they're feeling intimidated, we need to talk. We need to encourage one another. We need to say what one another's, most beautiful aspects of one another are, not glare at one another. That energy is so important, and it can unground a backstage when people are maybe a little malicious with their intentions or their eye contact. eye contact and energy that we vibrate in any environment we're in is felt. We're all empaths. We all feel, we all observe, right? It's a matter of how much you trust that intuition. But when I walk into a room, I can feel the people that I'm with. I can feel if they're going through difficulty or if they're on their highest point. And I'm there to either lift them up or cheerlead them forward. And I hope for that in return.
I always felt that empaths, like that term, not that it had a negative connotation, but it meant that someone was like overly sensitive.
So there's empathic, right? You can be empathetic to someone's feelings, right? They can be super sensitive, and that's true. But an empath in energy would mean that you're super sensitive to the energies in the rooms or environments that you're in. So empathy towards a situation is much different than an empath. An empath energetically means you could feel someone's trauma, not know exactly what it is, because that would be more into the intuitive, psychic realm. But medium, there's all kinds of variety there.
Are you psychic? Do you have psychic abilities?
I would say that I wouldn't call myself any one of the intuitive medium psychics, but I would say that I do have energetic abilities. How's that?
What does that mean?
It means I can walk in.
You have a good.
I can walk into a room and pretty well feel out where each person is. Even if they're acting happy, I can pretty much tell if they're carrying something sad with them.
Nice.
And that can come in.
Am I carrying something? Am I carrying something?
You're a Gemini. You carry a lot of energy. You're intense. You're a hard worker, but you are. You have a lot of emotions. You are an intense person. You love intensely, and your emotions are intense. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You're a medical Reiki master. Did I pronounce that right? Reiki?
Yes, Reiki.
What is
Reiki.
that exactly? What is that? What is a Reiki master?
Okay, so it's the practice of moving energy. Everything is energy. Everything is energy, right? So a Reiki master is trained to take that energy, be aware of it, and be able to move that energy or transmute that energy for the person that you're working with. So if they're going through something, you can help them breathe through, move through, and process that trauma block or energy block or energy tie or connection that can be generational, it can be situational, it can be relational. So as a Reiki master, we help hold secure space energetically for people to become vulnerable, to shake the things that they think they need to compartmentalize, which does not serve them, to hold them, because we think we're strong, we bear them, we hold them, they're ours, we carry them. The strength actually comes in the non-cliche version of letting go. And letting go is actually the going through. And that's the hard part. So everybody feels safe and secure holding on to all their things, all their traumas, everything they've collected in all their experiences and relationships. And really, it's the letting those things teach you and go through you so that you can unload what you no longer need to be carrying and to allow good magnetization of energies in. So as a Reiki master, we try to help people with that. Hands-on, on the body, to help move energy through. It can also be remote, like me and you right now, we're online. A lot of Reiki masters send energy. You can do lymphatic drainage, you can do chakra alignment remotely. You don't even have to be in the same room as one another because your intentions. We would both sit at the same time. You're where you are in your state, I'm where I'm at, and we would share the same time and space, but just in different states. So we sit down together intentionally, you to receive, me to give, and that Reiki is received just the same as if it would be hands-on in the same room. Now, I'd say you probably need to be well practiced to have that, go smoothly, because we have our own egos as Reiki masters. We are also people too. So we have our own insecurities or interruptions that come in. And then we have to reground ourselves so that we can provide grounding and safe space to the people we're trying to hold that space so they can process.
So my next question maybe goes to that a little bit.
Sure.
How do you, as an empath, right, an empathetic person, how do you manage the energy that you might receive if you're helping someone and someone has a lot of negative energy flowing through them, or there's a lot of negative energy in an environment that you're trying to service? How do you dissipate the energy that you might deal with or take in, the negative energy specifically?
All right, so I would say like a newer empath, they would have more difficulty with that, because it's like an overwhelm of, I can feel that person's difficult time, I can feel that person's overabundance of happiness. But for someone who's been practicing for a little while and trusts their intuition, you can actually provide space to those people so that they can find their own grounding and where they need to do their own work. So that they can checkpoint themselves. It's not really us as Reiki masters that are fixing anything. It's
or
really
taking in. You're not taking in the energy
before
you dissipate. You're not right. You're not transmuting. Right.
It can happen though for someone who does not, in their mindset or with the power of their words, your words become things, right? Words become things, physical things. So if I state, I'm going into this environment, I'm safe, I'm protected, my energy is grounded, then that's a fact, Jack. There ain't nobody coming into that. But if I walk in and I'm vulnerable and I say, oh, this person is that, and I need to help them, and angry, now I'm angry. You can reciprocate what you're in, or you can be affected by it and drawn to it, and it will actually make you behave that way. That's why they say don't lower your vibrations to other people's vibrations, right? Make them come up to you, magnetize to you, keep yourself elevated. Those that sift down, they'll sift down, and they've got their own work to do. You don't need to save everyone. You can't fix everyone. You've got to set the example yourself so that people can see that you emulating what you're speaking, that good energy.
Medical.
And it's as easy as, I'm not going to take on any bad energy. It's a statement. It's a protection. They call it it can be a protection field if you need that mentally. But it's really just stating that you're protected.
Medical, how does that play into it? Being a medical Reiki master, and is there such thing as a non-medical Reiki master?
There is. I will mention one of my greatest mentors, Raven Keys. She's no longer Earthside, but I cherish her, and she's a soul that I was magnetized to learn medical Reiki. And medical Reiki is different from, there's a lot of Reikis. There's fire Reiki, Phoenix Reiki. I mean, you name it, somebody's created some other kind of Reiki that serves the community. And it's all viable. Medical Reiki, though, is specifically for hospitals, nursing homes, medical industries where we're working with doctors that might be not want the Western energy of things in their, or Eastern in their Western operational rooms. They don't want the ooh in their surgery, right? They want scientific measured things. But you'll find that when you have a Reiki master in the surgery, the healing goes better.
You're in the room, in the surgical room while it's happening. Are you just there, just vibrating energies? Are you saying things? Are you praying? What are you doing? Right.
All of the above. Now, as respect for the medical field, I do not wear crystals. I do not hold up my hands, because if I did that, I would be disrespecting the environment in which I was in, to collaborate those so that we can work together. Because I respect doctors and I respect science. But energy is science. Science has identified energy as the unified field. Okay, so that's a scientific medical version of it, and then there's energy version.
Well, energy matters. You can't,
whatever. But what we need to do we need to connect the two. We need science and energy. We need medical and woo-woo to come together, because we are both sides. We are left and right. We are balanced. We need book smarts, but we need creativity too. So we need to be well-rounded, right? So me being in a medical atmosphere, I want to make sure that I don't interfere with the focus of the nurses and the doctors that are accustomed to, no praying or humming or crystals or rattles or anything. We don't have to go that way. Now we can to reach a transformative space, a transcendental space, but we don't have to. We can be silent. And yes, it can be an internal prayer. And if prayer doesn't resonate with you, then yes, we call it meditation. But all those things are the same. Energy and prayer and meditation. So it's just a matter of what you're comfortable with, what you resonate with. So I take medical Reiki into medical atmospheres so that I can bring that energy to people that would normally be under the knife, being prescribed strong medications, but there's nobody there really with them while their soul and vibrational being is no longer like within that physical form while it's being worked on, while something is being fixed. That is being held in an energy while someone is in pain or under medication. So I'm there for them in that moment. Or post-pregnancy, postpartum, there's a lot of things. Death doulas too, you can be there in death. So it's not just for surgeries in life, it can be prior to death as well. I'm magnetized to a lot of people that either had someone that just recently passed, or they might be dealing with a life-threatening situation. So I encounter those people quite often because I know I have something to deliver to them, whether it's a message or a motivation, or just an instinctive knowing how they can evolve in their own energy while they're here and be grateful for the time they have, whether it's short or long.
So next we had to talk about, you're a sound meditation practitioner. What's that?
So sound meditation is the utilization of vibrational instruments. I utilize crystal bowls and gongs, drums, chimes. And what we do is we utilize breath work and the sound and feeling of these instruments to assist people in reaching transcendence. Okay, transcendence is a space where people think and say they cannot reach, but they can if they sit still with the mind and the body and focus with the breath. You can actually drop into.
So that's the room that you're in right now. You're in
where,
a room in your home there where you do the sound work?
Yes, I'm actually sitting in my sound nest right now. If I can show you over here to my left, I have a big gong here and just a little vibe of what that sounds like. But basically, they're vibrational, so you can feel them and reach a deep space of quiet mentally. Yeah, it's kind of like cleaning up shop in the mind.
Meditation
when you can sit quietly.
Practitioner. Is that something that you study for? How do you become a sound meditation practitioner?
I did study with Vibrational Sound Association. I've also studied with some personal people in the States. David and Mike, they travel. They actually do sound concerts. So in different yoga studios and churches and music venues. So very honored to have sat with them. But yeah, some educational vibrational sound that has credits, and then just organically with some folks that I trust. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. You also manage a medical center, right? Is that what it technically is?
It's an energy health center, right? So we're all about energy, right? But we want it to also be about health. But we're focused on the health of your energy. So mental wellness, physical wellness, emotional wellness. What we have there is we have 9 spaces. We have a life coach. She's a retired counselor in recovery. support, and also aerial swing birthday parties for kids and aerial swing meditation for
Nice.
adults. Then we have we also have a doctor who does yoga therapy. We have another practitioner who does sound meditation and yoga. And then we have cannabis physicians for medical certification. And we have skin estheticians upstairs as well. And massage.
So do you just like, you own the, right, so you just own the building and you're leasing spaces to businesses?
Yes, that's right. So when we started this, we recognized that massage therapists, Reiki Masters, yoga specialists, they were all in separate areas. They were in doctor's offices, they were
strip mall,
random spaces.
Yeah, whatever.
So why not put them in what's called an energy health center? Because that is what they're doing. They're taking care of people's energy. Well, they can all be together. They don't compete, they collaborate, and they all send each other clients and customers. So it's beautiful.
You have it set up. You're managing, obviously you're letting or allowing the businesses or the energies into the space. Are you keeping it separate to where there's not competition? Are you keeping like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, where there's not, you don't have like overlap in
I let it cross over in massage because massage can handle a lot of clients, right? So I have had more than one massage therapist, but in general, yes, there would be one therapist, one yoga specialist, one skin specialist, one massage. So it protects everybody. And when we have someone new come in house, I communicate to those people if there is any type of overlap.
Very cool. Well, what's the name of this facility?
Lunar Bay Energy Health Center in Bel Air, Maryland.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Do you have
it's awesome.
So one individual might visit several of the practitioners.
That's right.
Just hang out all day. Hang out all day. Just get your whole
once a day, all week long. A couple appointments a month. Get your body work, get your mental work, get talking, get moving.
How does spirituality play into your competition life? How does your spirituality or your spiritual energy play into your competition life?
Honestly, I think it plays a big role in my confidence because when I'm well with myself and when I'm well with my creator, when I'm connected and grounded, my confidence is unstoppable. It's unmatchable because I'm a child of God. I'm walking the stage being my best, fullest self, right? Not in an egotistical way, but in a motivated, balanced, healthy way, right? And that's also why I can carry the energy backstage for others. I know I'm well-grounded. I know self. I've done the work here so that then I can carry a little bit of that for others around me too.
I love it.
So that's why it's important.
I could see you, like, if you weren't competing at a show, just being at a show, giving the vibes out, like just being backstage and maybe not even like an expediter. Yeah.
Backstage sensei,
I think that's
backstage Reiki Master, which we had one of those in Maryland. Yeah, and it helped a lot. A lot of the athletes had that.
That's really cool. I could totally see that. I think that would be awesome. Competing for me, I haven't competed in a long time, but just the process of competing and preparing for a contest for me was a spiritual journey. Like it literally beyond pro cards, beyond now. The organization I competed in, there was no IPL. Like it wasn't IPL vibes. I wish I had something like the IPL when I was competing. I competed with the organization. They didn't really care about me. They didn't care what my name was. I was just a number. But for me, I didn't even care because the whole process for me was a spiritual journey for myself. So by the time the end of a show came and I got a trophy, I literally forgot that there were trophies and medals. Because I wasn't there for that. I was there for the spiritual journey. Do you find that experience going through a prep or going through the competition journey? Does it feel like a spiritual thing for you? My guess is of course it does.
Yes, absolutely. It's like peeling back the layers of the onion. You're transforming yourself mentally, emotionally, physically. You have to, because you can't just transform physically without being mentally disciplined and emotionally stable, right? Otherwise, you'll find procrastination or distraction. So it's a all around spiritual, physical, emotional experience, and you got to go all in. And when you get there, it's like reaching the peak of the mountain. And that's why it's important for everyone at a show, trophy or not, you have won. You walk that stage, you are a champion.
I mean, I was always a bit of a spiritual person, but I feel like my connection and my spirituality and looking within and all the rest of it sort of came later in life for me, like maybe in my 20s, mid 20s, like a book that I read, Eckhart Tolle.
Yes.
The Power of Now. When I read that book, it's like people say that books change their lives. Like some people say these 10 books changed my life. That's a thing. A book can change your life.
Absolutely.
And there's probably 10 or 12 books that really impacted me that way. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Mm-hmm.
I read it and I listened to the audio book that he narrates, and hearing him narrate it is brilliant.
Yeah.
Have you read that book? I'm assuming that you have. And how important is literature and books of this nature? How important are these things for you and in your journey?
Yeah. I think that the power of literature, like you said, is absolutely crucial. So right now on my bedstand, I have As a Man Thinketh, and I have, Grow Rich, Think Rich, I believe. So it's about your thoughts become things. It's about everything that you're feeding your mind is what you're filled with, your perspective, your output, how you behave, how you perceive things. So yeah, it's really important what you're reading, and I would recommend to read The Power of Now, and I would also recommend to look into Joe Dispenza and also Wayne Dyer. Those are some really good rabbit holes to go down because they'll give you some really powerful mindset. Yeah. So
this was, a decade or more ago when I started getting into some of this stuff. And is Eckhart Tolle still relevant? Is he like he the beginner's guide, or is?
I mean, I would say whether you're advanced or beginner, you should be humble enough and have enough humility to always be a beginner, right? To always learn. So I would say dive into that book, but plan on rereading it, right? So if you're experienced, you'll probably be underlining and understanding a bunch of it. If you're not, you're finding yourself rereading the paragraphs, wanting to saturate it because it feels right, but you don't quite understand it mentally. And that's because you're unprogramming from what you were thinking and all the voices and the train of thoughts that are in your mind all the time, and you're reprogramming it with that book, with his mindset, The Power of Now. We actually only live in now. They're like past and future. Those are just other aspects of now. Now is really all we have, like what we're doing in this moment, the decisions we're making, the direction we're going. So it's absolutely crucial. And I would suggest beginner or advanced. Go read it again and study it. All the books, I keep them on a bookshelf and I pull them down even if I've read them before as a reminder. Just putting that fruit back into the mind so that you can nurture yourself from it. Because otherwise we get overwhelmed with negativity and procrastination and just everything around you just coming at you, like what feels like it never stops. It's just always getting you down. Something's always happening. Well, the power of now is perspective and gratitude. And if you can stay within that, then you have less stress. You sleep better. You respond to situations better. So, yeah, I highly recommend it, advanced or beginner. And there's quite a few out there to dive into. So get busy reading.
All right, awesome. Kelley Duncan-Halford, you're a special one. You're a special breed. I appreciate you. What's next for you? Like what's next? Competition-wise, another certification for healing. What's next for Kelley Duncan-Halford?
Right now I'm focused on being superhost for Airbnbs. So we do have another property in the pipeline we're looking to purchase. We are renovating the health center. So we're painting all the exterior, paving everything, giving it some beautification.
Nice.
And as far as competition, I will certainly be participating in anything in Maryland or Virginia.
Nice.
It may be a little while till I travel out of state, just because I got 3 kiddos.
Right.
But that's certainly in the future, and I look forward to it. certifications, no certifications, but I am going to hone in on some focus with my apothecary and just plant medicine. We'll leave it at that.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
That'll be a focus in future.
Well, always a pleasure. You're a delight. It's
I
awesome.
appreciate you, Ben.
Yeah, it's awesome having you in the league. You're always an interesting and fun person, and your energy is beautiful. And when I first met you, like I said, I'm like, this girl's got the energy. It's like a rare breed. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Well, I appreciate you. You wear a lot of hats, and I'm very grateful for all that you do.
Well, I appreciate you for being a part of it. If anyone doesn't know, and for those who do know, Kelley, check her out on the IPL website. Just search for her name. There's articles, there's interviews. You guys can learn more. Obviously, again, there's so much more that you do, that you have going on, that we didn't really touch on. We've touched on those things in other mediums, but I wanted to focus on the spirituality vibe with this call, do something a little different. But I appreciate you. Very cool.
Sure. Well, if I can end on a positive note for everybody, just remember that comparison steals joy, and all of you are full of the energy that makes you you. So love yourself first.
Awesome.
Thanks for the screen time, Ben. I appreciate
you. You guys, that's episode number 4, the IPL Podcast. Click like, click subscribe. Until next time, thank you, Kelley.
Thank you, Ben.
I appreciate you. All right.